Good morning, women of Philadelphia, and welcome back to my humble kitchen. Don't be fooled. This thing may look humble, but it cooks up some mean dishes. So, it's the day of the big potluck dinner party with all your friends, and you were asked to bring the side dish. Man, you always get stuck with the side dish. How do you make a memorable side dish that has everyone talking and begging for the recipe? Well, first, you make it mouth-watering fabulous, of course. And second, you use a vegetable that no one's used before, that no one's even had before. They've seen it in the grocery store, but they don't even know what to do with that thing. This is a spaghetti squash. And today, we're making In My Head Spaghetti Squash Casserole. It's called In My Head Spaghetti Squash Casserole because my mom used to make a squash casserole with regular squash when I was younger on special occasions, and I loved it so much. And when I called her to get the recipe, I said, "Mom, where is that recipe? I want to use spaghetti squash and add a few things to it." And I said, "Where's that recipe?" And she said, "It's in my head." And she gave me her recipe, and I tried it with spaghetti squash, and it is fabulous. I'm going to show y'all. You see how that spaghetti squash? Spaghetti squash is an interesting vegetable. When sauteed and steamed for just 10 to 20 minutes, it becomes fork tender and just falls apart into like spaghetti-like strands. It's so neat. So you can see even the spaghetti-like strands in our casserole. So I'm going to show y'all how to make it. First, you want to take your spaghetti squash and you want to cut it in half. And you see I've already cut it in half. And then you want to take all the seeds and the inside out. It's kind of like a pumpkin. You just take a spoon. It comes out pretty easy. And then flip it over, and you want to carve the skin off of it until it has no skin. And then it's ready to go in your pan. You want a big pan and a pot type thing that's going to hold this whole thing. You cover the bottom with a little bit, just cover the bottom with a little bit of water, and put 5 to 6 tablespoons of butter, and put a lid on it and put it on medium-high heat for about 20 minutes. And it's going to become fork tender and saute in that butter. So I'm going to take y'all to my stove. Hope y'all don't get dizzy. So you can see the finished product. Let's see. Can you see it? You can see I put the whole spaghetti squash in here, just a whole block of squash, and after 20 minutes it turns into like this spaghetti-like squash. Just run your fork through it, and this is what it becomes. Awesome, huh? You also want to take a whole white onion and put 3 tablespoons of butter and saute this up, and you're ready to mix it all up. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to bring y'all back over here. And the reason I'm not... Last week, my dessert, I tried to edit it, and the computer wouldn't take my edited version, so I'm not going to make that mistake again. So what we want to do first is pour our spaghetti squash in. Yum! I'm going to put you back up. Hi, girls. And your whole onion into the mix. And you see here, girls, I'm using half of the squash, but you want to use the whole thing. And so this is what goes in the rest of it. Cheddar cheese, a whole 2 cups of grated cheddar. Of course, some salt and pepper. salt it while it's in the pan also. Either way. Black pepper. And salt. Then you want to take 4 eggs. And since we're making a half today, a half of a serving of a spaghetti squash, I'm just going to use the 2 eggs. And then our ingredient of honor, 6 ounces of cream cheese. 6 ounces. And girls, let me grab my spoon. Just want to mix this all up. Get that egg all mixed in there, the cheese mixed in there, salt and pepper. Woo, and you see, it's like God's spaghetti. You'll feel good about eating it. Cream cheese all mixed in. So once you get everything mixed together, take a stack of saltine crackers. This is the great trick. I think my mom came up with this one herself. It's part of it. Crush it up. It's ready to go in. This goes in. I won't believe what this does to it when it cooks up in the oven. Mix it in. It almost makes it like almost like a cobbler. And that's what makes it so good with that cream cheese. I've had it without cream cheese before, and let me tell you, don't try it. Don't even try to go there. It is so good with the cream cheese. Maybe I can teach my mom a little something. So we take a greased casserole dish. This has our spaghetti squash, our onions, our saltine crackers. It's got just the best flavor, girls. This will have everyone talking, because once they put their fork into it and it starts falling apart like spaghetti, they're going to be asking what it is. What is this? And never more will you see that spaghetti squash in the produce section and wonder what you're going to do with it. So next, it's almost ready to go in the oven. Take about a handful of saltines and crush them up. Of course, my clean hands. Top it with some cheddar. And girls, it's that easy. It is that easy. It's ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put this in the oven at 400 for about 25 minutes, or until the cheese gets all bubbly and the casserole is bubbly and hot and ready to eat. Into the oven. So girls, now you'll be the star of the potluck dinner. You'll be the star of your family's table. You got to give this one a try. I hope to see y'all in Savannah.